Hi, this is Zach here with the Bulletin Board Heroes here at Zach's Traders Cafe for Thursday, the 1st of February. Starting off with the FTSE 100, which is in this micro range, just above 7,600, going up to the 7,690 area. Looking for an end-of-day close through 7,690 to give us a target as high as 7,800 by the end of this month. Ideally, we stay above the 50-day moving average there. 75.80 in the meantime. RSI at 58, which is in a good place in terms of suggesting that we're in a mid-move consolidation ahead of a move to the upside. If we do break back below the 50-day line, then the worst case scenario at the moment is to retest the floor of that rising trend channel from back in August, 74.30. Next market is the DAX, and here we've sort of given up, at least initially, on breaking through 17,000. Above 17,000, we were looking for the top of that October rising trend channel, 17,900 by the end of this month. On the downside, hoping that this will be limited to around 16,600, which is the floor of the rising trend channel from October. It's also the broken December resistance line as well for this market. But waiting for that end of day close above 17,000 to give us a potential new move to the upside. The Dow is next, and here you can see with a bit of a pullback towards 38,000, but still above the that level, and also above the floor of the rising trend channel from October. That is also just around the 38,000 level. Above 38,000, looking for as high as the top of the October trend channel. That's currently pointing basically towards the 40,000 area, which would be a rather ambitious sounding target for the end of this month. On the downside, if we break below 38,000, then there's the risk of a test of the recent support area, 37,000, which was the low area in December and January. So relatively simple setup there after the big rises we've seen. Going on to Bitcoin, and here it's all about trying to get through that 50-day line, which we did sort of temporarily earlier in the week, but here you can see that 50-day moving average around 42,800. Want to see, I suppose, a definitive clearance of 43,300, which has blocked progress twice in the last few weeks. Above that, we're looking for the top of the rising trend channel from October, rather from August, in fact, as high as 51,200. Maybe that's a target for the end of next month now, while we remain above the floor of the channel there at 40,000. But hoping that 40,000 will limit any losses on this market, even as the RSI has now fallen below neutral 50. Moving along to gold, and here looks like we're just about ready to break out now. Nice price action so far. So it's today, I suppose, or yesterday. Here you've got a rising 50-day line. A clearance of the 2070 area should give us a pretty quick move towards 2100. The overall target here by the end of this month up towards the top of that March rising trend channel, just shy of 2180. So big expectations, or great expectations there for gold at the moment, especially with the extended RSI rebound off neutral 50 that we had for the latter part of January. Moving on to the stocks, and not as exciting as it has been in recent times, with obviously the rise of Helium 1 giving everyone a bit of a boost, or at least the people who remained in the stock. Going on to Bidstack first, and here you can see that we've got a rising trend channel base that's been in place since the end of September. Top of the channel there at 0.9 pence, and we're looking for that, especially after yesterday's close, end of day close above a rising 50-day moving average, which tends to be a decent signal in terms of leading to the upside. And while we're above that 50-day line, 0.47, looking for that 0.9 area by the end of next month. Decent RNS and a decent move up for the shares of Bushveld today. We're just sort of trying to do a Helium 1, I suppose, here, but it's a bear trap reversal, so a bear trap rebound from below 1.15 pence support back in October. The longer we stay above a recent resistance on the way down, 1.63, the greater the chance of a move towards the top of that broadening triangle from September. That's currently pointing to 3 pence. So let's see if Bushveld can do a Helium 1 and give the punters a bit of a decent rise. But it's quite good that we've got that resistance on the way down, 1.63, as a potential stop loss money management point. One of the best rises at the turn of the year was Corcel, and Here you can see that the shares are trying to deliver a fresh leg to the upside. Basically, we've been on the right side of 1 penny over the recent past. The longer that remains the case, the greater the chance of a move to retest the January resistance area above 1.35 pence, hopefully in the first half of February. On to the Aquis market, that hotbed of liquidity, and here we have EDX, which is pushing onwards and upwards very slowly, but it's done it. The initial target here was 8 pence, at the top of that triangle from October 22. Next target there up to 13 pence, hopefully well before the end of this month. I'd like to see the shares stay on the right side of 9 pence mid-price in the meantime. Positive news today from Emerson, maybe something that the market wasn't quite waiting for or expecting, so that is good. Rising, we've had a gap higher up above a rising 50-day moving average at 1.6 pence. Above that, we're looking for a retest of January resistance and the 200-day moving average at 2.7 pence over the course of the rest of February. Onto a stock which I know a lot of people are willing up at the moment, possibly including the company itself, and that's Fusion Antibodies. Here we've had an end of day close yesterday above a rising 50-day line. It's been good follow through so far this morning, and we're looking for 8.5 pence over the course of February one more time. Obviously, we've had 2 or 3 attempts to get back above 10 pence in the recent past, but haven't quite managed it. But the upside, or at least the range trade is on, while we remain above the 4.5 pence area for Fusion. On to Helium 1, and here, although it's not quite as exciting as it was previously last week, still interesting that 50-day line coming into play, so we bounced off that nicely yesterday. We're actually so far above it today, so 1.18 pence the level there. The longer we stay above that, the greater the chance of a retest of the spike from the recent past towards 2.9 pence. Best case here is another flurry towards 2.9 pence and the top of that gap there. I think the high recently a little bit lower than that. On to the last three. First one is Orcadian, which has also had an RNS today, and shares bouncing off the floor of that rising trend channel, wide rising trend channel from the beginning of last year. The longer we stay above recent neckline resistance, around 12.7 pence, the greater the chance of a move not only to 15 pence over the next week or two at the 50-day line, but also up to maybe as high as 28 pence by the end of next month. Ideally, we stay on the right side of the rising 200-day moving average at 10 pence in the meantime. Stock of the day is certainly Power Metal Resources. We've just managed to avoid my 1.3 pence target, which has been in play for quite some time. The break of 0.9 sort of unleashed the floodgates, and I think the placing today at 0.97, and the share's well above that, so that's normally a very good sign when stock goes up after a placing. Next target above 1.3 pence, if we can get that today, tomorrow, would be as high as 1.85 pence at that August 2022 resistance line projection, and we're looking for that perhaps even as soon as the end of this month. But the key here is staying above the 1 pence zone. Finishing off with a stock I haven't looked at for ages, and that is Venture Life. Here you can see that we've gapped through a falling 200-day moving average and gapped above a rising 50-day line. Above those two features at 34 pence, we're looking for 45 pence as soon as the end of this month to take the shares back to where they were at the beginning of last year. That's it from me today. More updates tomorrow.